Hi, this is Scott Sapanik. I'm thevet.com, thespiritualmarine.com, and also bornagainisrael.com. Special shout out to the brother over at A Call for an Uprising. A Call for an Uprising. You know, we go through a lot of stress putting these vids out, and he's going through a lot of stress right now. He's got some health issues that he needs prayers for. So please pray, and also fast. If you want to look up the instructions on that, it's Isaiah chapter 58. And that kind of leads into what we're going to talk about right now, because it has to do with why do we get these bombardments of stress, where we catch all this flack. You know, it's like this airplane that you see in World War II, and it's flying over whatever country that's shooting up at it with the anti-aircraft guns, and then you see all these explosions around the plane. And that's what it's like. That's really what it's like. And we'll leave it at that. Why do we have this, good and evil thing that we go through in life? Why is this present? And it's present because there's actually two realities in life, in our reality. And the one has to do with the Christ. It's the truth. When you're a truth teller, when you pertain to the Christ communication and the Christ spiritual plugging in, you're on fire, you've got the light burning, in other words, in your spirit, and you want to bring that out to other people. You feel good about it. But there's that other side that's competing with you. And that's the ages old definition of the fight between good and evil. So, what the brother over at, as an example, what he does over at A Call for an Uprising is he showcases all of these things that are internal to the other side. And it largely has to do with hardcore Satanism, which is represented especially in the media, especially in the entertainment, especially in movies, especially walking down the street. And these people, we're just going to say these people, they have their own way of communicating. And they do not understand you, and you, conversely, do not understand them. Now, let's talk about their economics. What happens is you get assimilated, again, you get assimilated into their simulation. And their simulation is, a great way to look at it is it's a virtual reality. It's a spiritual virtual reality with them. And what happens is they have a system or a hierarchy of getting promoted. So once you're assimilated into their paradigm, their workforce, their spiritual workforce, you start out like everybody else and you get an offer. And you're learned how to communicate. You're learned how to spiritually communicate on their side. And if we look at the communication that goes on with the media, with the entertainment spectrum, and all that, they throw up their hand signs, especially El Cornudo, with your index finger and your pinky finger flashing up. And then you hold your two fingers in between, you hold them down. We see this a lot, and in the entertainment, especially in the entertainment industries, you see it all the time. But it could be anywhere from that to anybody on the street that you meet. But see, with them, what happens is you get assimilated again, and then you're taught how to communicate. And then you slowly or rapidly go up the food chain, go up their success ladder. Because they're looking for new proselytes. They're looking for newbies. They're looking for people that they also can show the business, show people in their realm how to play the game. Because again, in this reality, there's two competing realities: the Christ-centered and the not Christ-centered. So when they're throwing up all their hand signals and all that sort of thing, it's done for identification purposes. That's all that is. And then you achieve, you achieve certain things. You gotta eliminate, or you have to diminish, or you have to snuff out something good, something wholesome, something of the light, and then you'll get noticed. And then they'll say, well, hey, great job. We got something else planned for you. How about this? You go over there and you do your thing over there, but you already got your abilities. You're talented. We need people like you. And this is all you got to do. You got to just go over there and you got to kill something off. That's all you got to do. Maybe it includes telling lies about other people. Maybe it includes gaslighting a certain individual with other people that are already in the system, in the world system, which is a spiritual system. And that's all you got to do. So are you in? Of course you're in. Hey, you're one of us now. We know you can do this job. You're going to be good at it. You're going to go places. You're going to have the perks, the bennies, all the stuff. You're going to be good to go, right? And that's the way it is. And then you go higher up in their simulation, their virtual spiritual reality. And then you'll get a handler. And then you go up more and more and more. And then you'll become a handler, or that person, not you, will become a handler. We're telling you this now in order to recognize it. Now here's the deal. Because that's not the way to go, obviously. The way to go is to communicate in and through Christ, the language of Christ. Get inspired in the Word. be able to have those mental scriptures at the ready that you know about, that you can implement. Because, and this is how the game is played, you're going to come in contact with them, and if you don't show your stuff, they're just going to punk you out. So let's say, we'll give a few examples. Let's say you're in a school circle, you're a guy, you're in a school circle, and then all of a sudden the other guys, they start throwing out all this incredible profanity, the F-bombs, the MF bombs, that sort of thing, which is normal. You see it all the time. Actually, it's not normal. Because if you don't jump in, if you don't interject with the word, and you'll see them, they'll throw their El Cornudo signs, their devil signs, or their 666s, the OK sign, and all their other signs. So they know where you're coming from. See, it's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. If you don't jump into that school circle, they're going to punk you out. And then they're going to come back and they're going to, by what's the word? If you don't say or do anything, acquiesce. They figure they're just going to acquiesce you. In other words, you're already ready to be assimilated, and they'll figure it's a done deal. So if you don't say anything, then it will be, because they want to assimilate you into their simulation. Do you see this? It's not hard to see once you're able to identify it. It goes on every day. It's weird stuff. It's weird stuff. We grew up, we did not have a happy childhood. And we grew up and we knew certain things were not right. And we brought them to the attention of our elders at the time. And we've had hundreds and hundreds of bitter, acrimonious arguments. And we were young back in those days. We didn't know what was going on. And we're not saying we were perfect or anything, because obviously we're not. Weren't then, aren't now. But we knew something was wrong. We knew it. So we brought it to their attention. Arguments ensued. And then it was one of those situations where the argument got heated. Got real heated. And then the argument came to a standstill. We presented the facts the best way that we could. And what they want you to do is to be drawn into their emotion. Because they figure if you're drawn into their emotion, then you're on their playing field. And they'd come back and they'd go, it's called going ad hominem on you. And they'd say, well, why do you hate this so much? And we'd say, we don't hate that so much. We just happen to love the truth. Because the truth is just, it's broad. It applies, it's the Christ language.